saying that nothing's happening at the moment, and I'm yapping, obviously, because we need the game to start. But quick advert, grab yourself a drink, have a stretch, meet you back here in 6 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. And the game's begun. Hopefully... Oh, guys, how good is that? That is perfect timing. That is perfect timing. The advert just finished. And the game has started. Right, we've begun. 17 on the north, 17 on the south. Welcome, Cognitive. There are lots of rocks. I like the fact that we have an incredibly large stone patch in the middle of Maine. That I'm very, very happy about. As the game's begun, I'm going to change the music. Guys, if you have any suggestions of the kind of genre that you want to listen to, please feel free to chuck it into chat, and we will change the music every now and again. I don't want to kind of stick on just disco for a whole, 2 hours, or rock music for 2 hours. So we'll move about, we'll bounce around the music sphere, the universe of music, and hopefully hear some stuff that we weren't planning on today. So yeah, welcome everyone. The game's begun. This is a Biter Battles tournament game, and I'm going to explain all of what that entails momentarily. Let me just get something. Let me get some hip-hop. We almost barely ever listen to hip-hop. I will provide a freestyle. If I tell you what, I will freestyle. Dude, the flu is horrible, mate. I went out for a run earlier, and I feel like that will bury me tomorrow. So yeah, just gonna kick the music down a little bit, just because it's got some lyrical content to it. Wait, is this safe for work? I'm hoping that none of these people are swearing and aggressively being racist. Day 8 still. 8 days, dude. How do you... So, when you get the flu normally, how do you normally... Do you, like, kind of just wrap yourself up and sweat it out? Or do you just survive until... I always try and sweat it out. I try and just wrap myself up and literally sweat for... yeah. For as long as I can until it's gone. Okay. I say this often, I'll say it again. If you're new and you're watching this, if you just like clicked on my link on Twitch and you're like, what's going on? This isn't Factorio that I'm used to. Please feel free to ask questions in the chat. As the game goes on, I will be explaining what is happening in front of us. And yeah, this is a very cool game mode, and this is a tournament that we are running at the beginning of the year with some really interesting tweaks and twists. So, survival. I've been lucky I've had it since... Oh, okay. Alright, so you've dodged a bullet there. It was always going to come back around. And you know what? It is freezing at the moment. I don't really complain about the weather that often, but you know what? It is. It just is right now. And I know there are people in Canada dealing with -20, and there'll be people in, Siberia dealing with -50 going, ha, noob. But, for me, it's cold. And cold is subjective. Meanwhile, Coffee Owl has grabbed the opening... I like this move. I saw this yesterday. I really like this play. We obviously get some turrets at the beginning of the game that sit around our base, and then we have 1 or 2 around our silo. And it appears to me like Coffee Owl, as well as Zero Sun. Interesting, okay. That's a lie. Yeah, that's true. We're not really... The houses that aren't made for, the deep negative numbers. I can handle freezing just below sub, -2, -4. But when he gets into the -10, -20, holy, that is like, yeah, that's Mordor, mate. That's horrible. So yeah, slight adaptation. We'll keep a track on this because I noticed a couple of changes in yesterday's threat farming. So yeah, we'll take a look and see what's done differently. So far, both teams have managed to chuck somebody into the furnace. Up front, doing a bit of threat farming. Gaming Guy maybe playing support in the background to Zero Sun's threat farming. We can see now that the south are opting for a slightly different approach. Their smelting will be going east to west on the west-hand side, 2 copper lines up top with 3 iron below, and as you can see, Carl is just eyeing up what appears to be the first steel smelter as well. And here we have the north. They're looking to just build their smelting lines west to east, on the eastern side moving left to right. There is obviously a lot of open space on both of these places, so we'll see who gets it right. This is what I love the game mode so much. The map is always different, the team that you have is always different, and so the solution that you create, the problem that you have to solve is always dynamic, it's always changing. So we'll see at the end of this game whether building or smelting on the right hand side, to the east, or the left-hand side to the west, we'll see which idea kind of prevailed. This is, though, and I think it's safe to say, an egregious amount of smelting. This is like a whole game's worth of... And they're paving over oil. That's interesting too. I mean, obviously there's a lot more, you know, close enough, but I would try and just get that in, right? You know, as soon as you can. Like, just slap a couple of pump jacks down and just get like a container in. It's true. It's very, very true. Because as we know, and as we will see, there will be some absolute side swipes from the bugs later on. First Frog, I hope I got your name right. Welcome, mate. Welcome. You're joining us at the beginning of a captain's game that is based off of a tournament structure that we're holding. These are the sweatiest of sweaty nerds sweating it out for the first major tournament of the year, which is what we call our Masters tournament. But welcome in, mate. I hope you're having a good day. If you have any questions about what's happening, please feel free to ask. My name's Ghosty. I host these games. I referee them sometimes, and I'm an admin on the server. And I'm kind of the voice of commentary a lot of the time. There is sweat levels here that you will have not seen for a long time. In this server currently, we have 17 players on North. They're just in one team. 17 on South. And you'll notice that some of the best speedrunners, so if you go to speedrun.com for Factorio, some of the best speedrunners of the game are right here playing in a team. So we have the fastest people that can play on their own. What can they do in a team of 17 people? Now, if you're new to the game mode, what this will be is a speed run through the tech tree, a speed run through into late game, and we should get to rockets within about 2 hours. We almost broke the world record for the fastest rocket for a multiplayer server. We almost had a 1 hour and 30 minute, I think it was 1 hour 32, and we needed to break 1 hour 31. I might be getting my numbers wrong there, but we got very close to a rocket, and that is because there is a nightmare person on the North called Jimmy50. Here he is. Jimmy50. Right, this person is not human. He's not real. If ever there was like Tass in real life, then this is Tass. Legit, like genuinely. I don't know much about Factorio, but that sounds really impressive. Hey dude, I'm happy to have you here with us. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you just want to hang out and chill, that's good too, man. Yeah, so the idea of the game mode, and I'll explain this because we've just started, so there's lots going on, but there's nothing major happening that we have to really focus in on. Both sides, the North and the South, their only objective throughout the game is to make sure that the rocket silo, this large building that we have here in the middle of the map, stays safe and stays alive. This is a game of survival. The way that you do that is that over the course of the game, you research science. So these jugs that you see here, red is the most basic science, green is our second kind of more advanced science, all the way up to white science. And they're just different tiers of research that give you access to different levels of technology. For instance, if you want a laser turret, a tower that shoots lasers to kill the bugs and keep your base safe, you'll need a little bit of all the way up to yellow science to research that. So at the beginning, we're in caveman mode. We have nothing available to us apart from the most basic of science. Over the course of the game, the bugs, which exist on the south, to the south on the south and to the north on the north, they are very, very weak. As I scroll up here to the very top of our screen, we can see that the bugs are 0.9% evolved. It's kind of weak, right? You could probably like sneeze on them and kill them, you know? Coffee Owl down here is currently grabbing them up together, and as you can see, lots of bodies of dead bugs here, and he's just killing them off with some simple gun turrets. Later on in the game, and not too long from now, these bugs will evolve. They will get bigger, stronger, faster. They will gain more armor. Some of them will turn into bosses, and your ability to kill them this easily becomes null and void. So the way that this game is played is that each side's bugs will evolve at different rates depending on how your team plays, and your goal is to protect your base as you research up the tech tree to get access to better defensive things as well as better offensive items as well. And we'll cover the offensive portion of the game later. That's not really important right now, but as you can see, the guys are mining out some of the raw materials that are on the ground. This is iron, the silver stuff. Here we have some stone, and stone is great for building walls as well as other things. coal, which will power our base. So we have these kind of steam engines. They need a little bit of water and coal to power them. And we feed them into these big smelting arrays where the raw materials go in. And off with a little bit of power and some inserters and smelters too, we end up with some plates. And those plates can get made into other, you know, kind of other materials, other items. And those items get made into other items and other items and other items. It's kind of factorial, right? It's just slowly you progress up and up and up. So we have two teams with two different ideas. And one of the key difference here is that they really prioritize the West, the South. They've really thrown a lot of very strong players. Joshua and the Soldier, very strong players. Cobra and Coffee, very strong. They've moved to the left-hand side. Meanwhile, in the North, they've kind of stayed central, I guess. But they've also moved off to the right-hand side too. So they're making the most of these mixed patches, which have a little bit of it's a blend of all the different kinds of ore. And off these mixed patches, you can gain a decent advantage. You know, they used to be a blemish. They used to be something that we never really kind of used and utilized. But as you can see here, a belt of mixed ore is just going into some kind of smelting. And off the back of that, you get a randomized amount of stuff. I learned something new. I wish I was there. No work in the morning because I want to watch this fully. Do you know what? There is a YouTube channel attached to my Twitch. Let me get you the link to that real quick. And I post all of this tournament's games to that link, as well as in the not too distant future, I'll be posting some tutorials as well. So let me get you. Oh damn. I think my alert just went off. I'm really sorry if somebody's just followed or subscribed and I didn't catch that. I've been away streaming. Sorry, multitasking. I've been away streaming for a while, and my alerts and all that jazz, they're not set up correctly. So if anybody just subbed or followed, thank you. You don't have to, but I really do appreciate it. It helps the algorithm find me or help other people find the content. So if you have a look at that YouTube channel, Frog, you'll be able to find previous games, as well as this game will also be posted probably later today. So either in the next, well, once the game finishes, you give me an hour or two. I need to chop it up to make sure that it's just the game and not the pick phase. It takes like 30-40 minutes. And then, yeah, that'll be up there. So even if you can't make it, you know, we have players that are based in Australia and based in South Korea that aren't able to, that play with us during the week, but aren't able to make it to the games themselves. And so the reason I started the streaming and the YouTube channel is that those members of our community still get to be involved. You know, they still watch the games and can see how the different games play out. So yeah, dude, if you're only here for 5-10 minutes, it's nice to have you in, mate. It's nice to meet you, and hopefully work goes well, mate. It's cold as fuck where I am at the moment, so I hope wherever you are going to work, you can stay warm and stay motivated. And yeah, welcome in. Why am I not getting alerts? Hey, there we go. Finally, my alerts work. Guys, I'm really sorry if I've missed your follow. I've just clicked on it to work. Oh man. Wait, there's another way of finding out who's followed, right? Am I wrong? RJD, you know about this stuff, right? Is there a way of finding out who's followed recently through Twitch? I don't want to miss people. I feel really bad if somebody's followed and I can't give them a shout out. Alerts. Activity feed. Again, I've been away for such a long time, guys. Yeah, sorry, here we go, I've got it. First Frog and Mustache, thank you and welcome. It's, I'm slowly, I am washed. Thank you. I need to find a way of doing all this. Look, bear with me, guys, this will be better, we will improve. But for now, from me, thank you for joining in. It always makes me smile and warms my heart when people decide to join in. Something that is so small and so niche, but I think that people really get a lot of value out of. So, yeah, welcome and thank you. I appreciate it. Obviously, please feel free to watch for free. You'll never hear me ask people to subscribe and use your primes and any of that stuff, because I just like the fact that I get a little bit of company whilst I have... Is that again? My alerts are not working. I hear the music, I don't see the... I'm terrible. Guys, you have to bear with me on this. I'm really sorry. Oh, God. Yeah, I don't know. Look, bear with me for this. If it's janky today, please feel free to tune in another time. All right, cool. It's all going wrong. Let's just park that for now. I'll fix that next time we get a break in play. Let's zone back into the game and see what both teams are doing. As we can see on the south, they have absolutely fleshed out the stone furnace element of their smelting, and this will go into a larger production line. So this hopefully will be the beginnings of their science. To build red signs, and obviously I'm speaking to the choir here, but most of you will already know this, all you need is a copper plate, which you can find from just smelting copper on its own, and then you need to make a couple of iron gear wheels. So you find a building like this, an assembly machine, you put some plates in, it will smash them around and turn them into gears, and then if you feed them into another assembly building, they'll create a jug of science, and that will give you, if you feed that into labs, some research potential. Now, the North are researching heavy armor, they're researching radar, and they don't have anything exclusive to them yet, whereas the South have gone gun turrets and radars early. And they're going into production too. Wow, okay, interesting. Slight deviation there from the South. There is a line that you want to take that is kind of like the most optimal line. And I wouldn't say, really, that going assembly 2 this early is like really optimized. It's not the end of the world, obviously. It's not a game-ending play. Oh, damn. Would it be a... So, I need to fill you guys in real quick on this individual right now. Alright guys, welcome. This is my TED Talk, and this individual is the South Captain, and his name is Sticklord. Sticklord, amongst many other players, has played this game so much that it's almost like they can play however they want and they will still win. I wouldn't say Sticklord is the strongest player on the server, and certainly not the strongest player on this server. However, Sticklord has a unique way of playing where he can throw the game into absolute chaos whenever he wants. That can be off the back of making a train saw, which is basically a massive train loop that acts as a physical chainsaw to cut down bugs. Or it can be creating spam in the opening 15 minutes of a game in order to throw the North off of their threat farming. And we saw this, the potential of this to happen yesterday, but it never actually happened. And I really like this play, I really do. Let's take a look. So we didn't talk about offense earlier on, so let me just see what that throw has done. The way that you influence the enemy team's bugs is that you create these science flasks, and instead of researching with them, consuming them, you send them over the river to the other side, and each science flash that goes over will mutate the bugs into a certain value. So it will push the bug's strength up, it will push their health up, it will push everything about them up to make them basically over time unmanageable. So let's go and see what that send has done to the... I've heard about this, there's a calculator that they built in. So Sticklord has sent 34 jugs, which has jumped the evolution by 5%. Now, 5% doesn't sound like much, but if I'm dealing with 2% bugs or 7% strength bugs, I'd rather 2, right? And so later on in the game, when the bugs are, when my side are dealing with 20% strength bugs and the other team are dealing with 100% evolved bugs, I know what side of the pitch I'd rather be on, right? I know what side of the map I'd rather be on, which is the not 100%. So yeah, they've gotten their basic science up on the North. Again, to make the second tier of science, this green science, you need to create these yellow inserters, which you'll see in our smelting and also in our, in almost any level of production. And on top of that, you'll need to create some belts. If you can feed those 2 items into an assembly machine, you'll get level 2 science, these green jugs. And obviously, we don't do anything small here in Bite the Battles. If you make loads of the stuff and feed it into your labs, you'll be able to research stuff very, very quickly. And as you can see here, repair packs, the research for this is flying now from the South. And that's what makes these games so fast, is that you're not making 1 or 2 labs, you're making layers and layers of production, right? All of this here is calculated. All of this here for the North is calculated. They know that they need this many smelting lines in order to achieve this result. Now, where they'll come slightly undone is if this rush that Sticklord has managed to create, this early game pressure that he's managed to create, if this pays off, what do we think, guys? Because I speak often about this, about throwing the game into a slight amount of chaos early, causing some reaction or some deviation away from the original line. I love this. I am a huge, huge fan of this. It's risky, and I'll without painting too much of a picture here, the risk attached to this is that, oh, welcome Green Killer. I have a great voice. I'm studying and have your stream open in the background. Hey, thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. Yeah, I got called AI. I was playing Hell Let Loose a couple days ago, and somebody said I sounded like Chat GPT. So, yeah, thank you. Welcome, mate. Again, I think it's just how I am. I'm not a very loud person, so you'll never really hear me screaming and shouting. And hopefully the music is good too, so I'll try and mix in some really interesting, some chill music whilst you study, mate. If you don't mind me asking, what are you studying? What's the topic? Is it maths, English, biology, physics? Or it's probably something really, really deep and hard to do, like biochemistry or astrophysics or something, right? But either way, welcome in, mate. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, so biology, very cool, dude. Not my strongest suit when I was at school many, many years ago. I'm an old man now. I'm washed, as the kids say. But hopefully, mate, it'll pay off. So yeah, enjoy, and thanks for tuning in, mate. I'll try not to distract you too much by asking you questions, because it is important that you get that studying done. Okay, right, so I'm going to take a quick clockwise look around the map and see what we can see if there's anything specific that we can lay our eyes onto. So, in north, from left to right, they're building an enormous power block. Now, I don't know if I love how vertical this is. Obviously, the higher up it goes, the closer it is to the bugs. But you can't fault the fact that there is a lot of power here, right? This will power their base for a long time to come, if they can fuel it, obviously. And if they can if they can fund this with enough coal. It looks like they can. There's enough of a coal patch around that you can siphon into. So this is good. You know, from the north, I like this play. You know, they're assuming that the game... Oh, I don't like this, though. That's terrifying. No, dude, no. I literally, on cue, the moment I start talking about it, the bugs just arrive. Am I the bug whisperer? Should I change my title from washed to cursed? Yeah, can we not do that, mate? There, look how fast that happened. Somebody tried to troll and they get muted instantly. Thank you. There's a clear function, right? There we go, perfect. Yeah, I mean, don't do that, guys. The Murray Walker... Yeah, dude, I've heard about this. The Murray Walker curse. And, oh, mate, I'm loving a bit of Formula 1. Slight sidetrack, obviously, but how good... I'm going to be honest. I kind of thought Max Verstappen would take it this year. It just seemed like he was inevitable. I know there are like people on either side of the coin that either love Max or hate Max. I'm like a new F1 fan, so I don't really have a place on that, that scale. But, Lando to win it was good. I like Oscar Piastri, though. I really like Piastri, too. He seemed really, like, level-headed. For a sport where you are, like, constantly under pressure and, oh, damn, another set of bugs. He seemed to just be really calm and collective. So, he's still very young. They're all very young, but he's still very young. So I hope that in the not-too-distant future, he could potentially be challenging for, some kind of honours. We're going to swap the music out because I just want to kind of keep things without vocals in so that we can focus on the task at hand, which is the action. So the reason why these hit and run excursions are happening to the bugs is because now the North are dealing with 23% evolved bugs. I haven't watched Formula 1 since the FIA fiddled the rules and made the downforce so low they couldn't overtake. Over 10 years ago. Did go to a Formula 1 race at Silverstone once. Oh damn, dude. Yeah, so I think has that finished now? Because I think that there's a regulation change. I did hear, again, I'm a complete noob, so please, any Formula 1 fans out there, feel free to correct me. I remember seeing somewhere that said that the ground effect cars, this ultra low, because they used to bounce. Like I remember last year or the year before, purposing, where they would like just bounce because like the floor would suck to the ground and then the plank would hit the ground and it would, yeah, dude, look rough. Gonna be honest. It's like being on a bouncy castle driving at 200 miles an hour. I really like this play from Sticklord. He has evolved the bugs up to 26%, just off the back of this spam alone. I don't think this is gearing up to be a spam outpost, but I think there's just this at the moment. And what we can see here is the first evolution of the bugs. Team North looks like easy points. I agree, Tech Priest, I do. The one thing I would say though, I like the adaptation that the South have decided to throw a punch immediately. They've instantly gone full aggression, and instead of just really casually, passively building up their base, they've just decided to allocate just a small portion of their resources. Yeah. I like it, dude. I like this play. I don't think it's going to work long term, but what it does is you have to commit people in order to kind of fight off these waves of bugs coming in, right? So you don't get your sorry, my brain is just not working today. It's the cold, guys. I'm not making excuses. We'll find solutions. Yeah, you're not having the game the way that you want to play it. You're having to adapt to the way that the game is being played in front of you. This won't last forever, but I do like it. I like this adaptation. Now, is this a game-winning play? No, but you know what? For the rest of this game, the weakest bug that the North will have to deal with is 27%. You know, that's the weakest. And at this early phase of the game, you don't really have access to the stuff that you want. You know, you don't have heavy armor, and you don't have, you know, some of the better grenades. You know, for instance, upgrades and flamethrowers and all the rest of all the good stuff, all the fun stuff. I do plan on playing in Captain's game. I do. So end of last year, just a quick recap, because I know a couple of you guys are tuning in for the first time in a long time. I got engaged, which was great, and it's been a very busy, like 6-7 months for me. I now have time to kind of stream and play, so I'm going to allocate that time to VOD. So yeah, you'll see me streaming every now and again, and you'll also see me streaming me playing too, which is a very different viewing experience, by the way. Like, I do still talk and I yap a lot, but you won't be able to get the same kind of overview of the map that you get from watching these kind of games. So I appreciate that less people tune in for that, because I'll tend to kind of do little bits of everything. So it's not that engaging when it comes to like gameplay. If you want to watch what it looks like, what a POV looks like of an X rank 1 player of this game mode, and also I still think I am the most successful captain that has captain. Not in recent memory, but I had basically like a 3-month win streak. You know, it was pretty ridiculous, to be fair. On top of winning every, like, I think I won more than like 50-60% of my games. I was all the time. Yeah, thank you, mate. Yeah, it was, I spoke a little bit about this the other day, but I was so scared, man. Like, I ended up with insomnia. I was panicking about her saying no. And it's, you know, whether she said yes or no, it's not up to me, right? But we went on holiday, I got the ring set, and the whole build up to it was just absolutely stress inducing. And when I pulled the ring out, my hand was shaking, and I was like, it was like somebody had a gun to my head. And I realized that actually I put myself under a lot of pressure when I don't need to, you know, like I don't have to. I do it sometimes, and it's unnecessary, you know. I stress myself out unnecessarily. And yeah, she said yes straight away. Like, it was an instant, and she even said, I kind of thought it was going to be here, it was going to be now. Like, I kind of assumed it would be, not expecting it had to happen, but you know, all of a sudden that month, I mean, literally 30 days of pure panic. You know, just what if, you know, if she says no, do we just sit back down again and, you know, have dinner, or do I run away, or do I jump into the ocean, start a new life? Yeah, so yeah, thank you, mate. I appreciate it. It's a big step for me. You know, most of my friends at my age are actually divorced. I'm getting married quite late. I think most would consider, you know, your mid-30s to your late 30s to be popping the question for the first time. This will be my first time married. Will be a bit odd, but I didn't want to do it when I was in my 20s. It wasn't right, and I wasn't with the right people, or the right person. Sorry, I skipped my first divorce. Yeah, I'm not playing the game right. I should have at least a couple of children that hate me, and be divorced a little bit first. You never know. There's always time. I'm cursing my own. We'll be fine. Honestly, we'll be fine. You know, she supports me in these little nerdy ventures. Metagaming life. Yeah, thank you, mate. I appreciate you. So yeah, I dropped off the map. Also, the insomnia thing didn't stop, even though she said yes. Like, I felt like my body was just overly stressed. So what I did was I detoxed off everything. I didn't play video games for a couple of months. I just went to the gym a lot, and I just ran a lot. I actually learned how to draw. So you see this little cartoon guy on the bottom. Sorry, I'm not going to make him big forever, but you see this guy. I learned how to draw and how to do like photo scans. And so I kind of channeled my energy into like not playing video games, but like picking up a new skill. And yeah, I decided to do this instead, you know. So even though I was kind of really not in a great place, I thought I'd learn a new skill and try and upgrade the stream when I was to come back, you know. Eventually when I was to return, make my glorious return, then yeah, that would be me. Anyway, guys, back to the game back then. Thank you. I appreciate the support. I really do. The North are dealing with 32% evolved bugs. The South are dealing with 20, so there are throws going across the way, but 32 is an uncomfortable amount this early on in the game. So let's quickly check on the mutagen log, because, okay, so the North have sent 1,300 flasks. The North have only sent 350-ish. Ooh, so yeah, orders of magnitude different. So do you think that, I mean, the North will survive this, but they're having to deal with packs and packs of bugs now crashing onto. If too much stress is built, it needs quite a bit of time for it to go away. Yeah, for example, my exams, yeah. Honestly, I know it sounds a bit odd, but I was the same when I was at school. The moment exams came, I wasn't the kind of guy that could do exams without studying. I would like overstudy, and then I wouldn't sleep, and then I'd be stressed because I wasn't studying right and I wasn't sleeping right. And the exam was fine. Like, I'm not a genius. I scored A's and B's for my exams, so I was like A's and B's for maths and English and all the core subjects. But I wasn't like a star student, but I needed it, and I stressed myself so much studying, dude. If there's any younger listeners out there, and it depends, everybody learns in different ways, but you need to find healthy ways of de-stressing. You know, I played lots of sports when I was a kid. You know, playing rugby for me was my way of just like, you know, I could for an hour or two every day, I can just go off and be a rugby player, and nobody is expecting anything of me. I can just go and do my thing. But you know, video games is a great way to de-stress. Music is a great way to de-stress. Reading books, I'm a huge book reader. I'm a big nerd, actually. I call everybody else nerds, but actually I'm probably the biggest nerd here, if I'm being honest. I think the reason I call everybody else nerds is to deflect, to distract everybody else from my own nerdage. So yeah, the North are absorbing some pressure. Luckily, they haven't lost anything too big, right? It would be a real shame if they were to lose this level of smelting. Or this level of smelting, right? If you lose anything in the main base, that's a real big problem. However, they are under some pressure, and I'm worried that with this power block being kind of out in the open like this, they kind of need to kind of shut themselves off a little bit. I don't know if we're going to go for walls. I don't think we're going to see a big castle being made around each of the bases. But, you know, if I'm the North, I'm slightly nervous about this. You know, 38%. At 50, they will evolve again. So we've seen them go from the little brown shells, here, these small bugs, to the pinkish shells, which are mediums. If they evolve one more time up to the blue shell bugs, grenades and bullets become less effective. In fact, they almost become non-effective against the bugs. So, you know, for now, the South at 23%, they can certainly weather the storm here. But I think that down the line, they need to come up with some other alternative ways of threat farming, which obviously Coffee Owl will know, and obviously Zero Sun on the other side of the coin will also know how to do this too. Nerd is just the definition for someone pretty smart and knowledgeable in a topic. Beauties and nerds in a period. Hey, do you know what? That's actually pretty enlightened way of looking at it. But you're right. Everybody has a specialist subject. Mine is mostly about talking about how great I am. My own specialist subject is me, and how great I am and how legendary I am. Although, to be fair, I am an ex-professional gamer, so like, if I didn't back myself and my skills, then why was I ever competitive in the first place? For anybody tuning in, by the way, when I say that I'm the best and I'm legendary, right, it's a joke. It's me taking the piss out of myself. So please, if anybody's tuning in for the first time going, bloody hell, this guy's a bit of an asshole, like why is he saying he's so amazing and so legendary? It's purely just sarcasm. But it's also true. But you know, obviously be humble. If you're as good as I am at anything in life, remember guys, the number one thing is to obviously be a legend, obviously be super talented, but just be humble, you know? And don't tell everybody all the time, but just remind people, hey guys, you're not like me. And if you are going to be humble, make sure you're the best at being humble, and that everybody knows how humble you are, and how legendarily humble you are. Exactly. Oh god, dude, I did it once, years ago. And welcome, Enkling. Happy New Year, mate. I don't know if we've spoken since the New Year, but welcome back in. I hope you have a great 2026, mate. Enkling, for anybody out there who doesn't know, is a veteran player, one of the best captains we have on the server, and he plays from Southeast Asia. So when he plays as a captain, he's starting a game at like 3 o'clock in the morning. It's ridiculous. So yeah. Yeah. Well, that's half the battle. Is some people think I'm serious, and some people think I mean it, and maybe I do. But it's just a bit of fun, right? If you can't poke fun at yourself, then you have no business poking fun at other people, right? So it's why today I'm washed. And Tech Priest is thinking North might be in a bit of trouble here. I'm with you there, dude. Let's check in on the research. So we've meandered a little bit topically here, but okay, so back onto the research. The North are going towards blue jugs. They've just finished that up. They want batteries and productivity modules, and they want to get some mining modules, and I think they're going for some... Okay, they want to get some shooting upgrades too. I don't think the shooting upgrades is too bad. 45% degrees. North is no Mordor. Oh damn, we need to rename. I really liked that yesterday. We named each side of the map. So maybe today we can try and pick a name for either side. North is under pressure though, so we need to find something that's northern that's on fire. And yeah, the South are just cracking on with lab speed. You know, we've got 3 levels of science on the North. Meanwhile in the South, I mean, this is huge. Look at this. It's not all plugged in, but it's a lot. You know, when that all turns itself on, that'll be a beast. Power is looking good. They have some good oil smelting up already, or oil refining, sorry, not smelting. We have a couple of these really useful mixed builders on North. I'm slightly worried about this though, right? I saw this. What do we think this is going to be? Are we looking at like green chip production? We saw it a little bit yesterday. In yesterday's game, there was like a slight offshoot very close to main that was building up towards something. Now steel is here. Oh, this will be purple. Surely this will be a purple enabler. Is that the right word? Enabler? Yeah, this will enable purple to be ramped up, as long as you're chesting a lot of the stuff here. And obviously steel is quite a difficult product to make and to store up on. Yeah, troublesome. And now we can see most of the waves up north are majoritively medium-sized bugs. So yeah, the small bugs have evolved out of existence, and we're dealing with all purple guys. And soon, in about 4.8% time, the North will be dealing with bigs as well as mediums. Now, a wall needs to be created, or potentially, we need to get some flamer turrets down. I don't hate this, but Jesus, they have it cut out for them, don't they? Because if they start losing things like this, it's not the end of the world, but, you know, they're making cars, which is good. And what do you guys think about the car meta, by the way? I was talking to somebody on YouTube from yesterday's video, and they said that the car meta is a little bit overpowered, and I'm slightly inclined to agree. You know, once you do get into a vehicle in this game, obviously with trees in the way, then it becomes a problem. Oh, gee, oh, they are in 1, 2, 3, 4 waves crashing down on 1, 2, 3, 4 parts of the map. I mean, if the North win this game, they have to earn their win, right? This is grim, dude. Something's gonna drop. Okay, first car is up and running. It's taken a bit of a beating, but they're managing to pull the waves away from the outpost, which is obviously a good sign. You want to keep this car alive as long as possible. There aren't many of them. Meanwhile, moving over to the oil, the bugs seem to be avoiding that a little bit. Now another wave has just dipped into the fog here, so we can imagine. And again, guys, I do have some drawing tools. I normally have some kind of illustration tool on my screen that I can kind of draw around the map. Today, as well as yesterday, somehow it just isn't seeming to work. So yeah, there is, in this fog somewhere is a pack of bugs, and they potentially could slam into this power, and that is dangerous. And we're sitting at yellow power already on North too. Damn, dude, this is poverty mode. Meanwhile, in the South, let's take a quick look, right? Because they have a pretty easy run of it. 24% bugs, pretty easy to kite. Most of the wave are small bugs as well, so they're pretty easy to kill. Some are medium, so they take a couple of grenades, but nothing too bad. Although, do you know what, if the North are going to win a game, You need someone like Jimmy 50 running main. You do. You need somebody this strong of a player to actually kind of steer the ship a little bit and get you out of trouble. And as we can see now, blue science is beginning to tick into the labs, meaning that we're into the first 4 tiers of science already. This is quick. Oh damn, both teams actually. So even though the North have been under pressure, they still managed to get their blue signs within a minute. Within 60 seconds of the South getting their blue up, the North got theirs. So really, they're not far away. It's just the evolution, right? Sticklord spam has literally just... This has just thrown the game into a bit of chaos, you know? You can't push your team that far if you're having to constantly come away from your work to deal with these bugs. I like it. I'm a big fan of this. Now my question is, are the North planning on sending anything to the South? I know there've been a couple of... Oh damn. Green Killer, thank you for the sub, mate. I massively appreciate that. Damn. Well, mate, welcome and thank you. For any of you out there, I say this every week, I appreciate any of the support, even just a chat message or a follow. It really does help out, and yeah, thank you for the sub, mate. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, I'm hoping, yeah, that the North can survive this. And how do we get to dubstep? How the hell did we end up on... I'm on a country music playlist. All right, we're coming off country music for now, and we're going to change that because this is not a country music. There we go. Let's put on some house music. Let's pick the vibes up a little bit. And you are correct, Green. I do need to drink something because I am running out of coffee. So give me a second, and we'll get back to the map. I think I've spotted something here. Some statistics, some data that we can drill into. So bear with me. Right, coffee has been sunk. Let's sink our teeth into the data. So we have 210 blue jugs being produced on the North. Meanwhile, it hydrates my mind. Honestly, I'm knackered today, guys. And we're doing 2 games, by the way. I'm hoping that both of these games can be done. Nerd acronym: Noble, Energetic, Radiant, Determined, or maybe Nest Eradicator Rocket Drone. I like it. I'm a big fan, dude. Yeah, it does dehydrate. But for now though, it keeps me going. Remind me to hydrate after this though, because I'm doing, this should be about an 8-hour long stream, and I cannot survive off coffee alone. So somebody near the end of this one, just tell me to go and get like a tea or something else, right? Just give me a poke. Okay, so we have some bugs. Some bugs have made their way down towards the towards south. Interesting. Now this shouldn't be a problem for them. There aren't certainly as many as before, but if you lose any of this production, it is a real shame. So yeah, I mean, it's not, if they can't handle this, right, then there's no way that they'd ever be able to handle this. I am a Bricky's tea. I'm a bit of a cheap date really. Bricky's tea. Do you know what, Lapsang? My missus bought me, I keep saying missus, my fiance. I've got to start using that a bit more often now, otherwise I'll get in trouble. My fiance bought me some Lapsang. It tastes like gunpowder. I think it's called gunpowder tea. Really interesting flavour, mate. Initially it tastes like burnt wood, but then it's got like a really nice aftertaste to it. I'm not much of a tea drinker if I'm being honest, but I genuinely will make a cup of tea of that later. In fact, you know what? We're going to have some gunpowder tea later. That's my takeaway here. And I wouldn't be a good Englishman if I didn't have a cup of tea in the middle of me streaming. Especially the way I'm talking, you know. It's not like, yeah, bruv, I'm having a cup of tea in it. Oh, God. Stereotypes. They exist for a reason. Yeah, they exist for a reason. So, the South are upgrading their setup, moving towards a yellow build. I can imagine that purple won't be far away. As we can see now, all of their labs are flying with the research at the moment, so things will be, you know, the middle of the research tree will be absolutely firing. They're going for trains, I don't know why. Military 3 is up and running, and this green bar, once they get some milsci, right? We're missing milsci. That will fly. The North are going for mining productivity. There's a lot on the table here. A lot of the team. Yeah, so the plan for the stream is to cover biter battles more efficiently. So we host multiple tournaments. We have people like, and I don't know if you follow lots of Factorio bits and pieces, but we have other big names in the space like Anti-Elites, Raslington, Speedrunners. We host like money tournaments throughout the year. Not that you need to play for money, but there was a couple of Bitcoin one. No, I think there was some Ethereum, like basically about $1,000 worth last year was won off of the tournament structure that we host. I will also be playing some beta battles as well. I do play other games. I'm actually more well known. In fact, I don't know if I want to say this. I will say it, but please don't take me seriously when I say this. No, take me seriously, but please don't think I'm trying to pick myself up. Many years ago, I was a professional gamer of another game. I have since gotten into coaching. So in my 20s, I was coaching Dota and playing at the highest level of Dota. I was top 500 for a short amount of time. No, in fact, you know what? It wasn't a short amount of time. It was like a year. I was about top 500 for about a good 12 months. And then I began coaching. And there are a lot of people that have subscribed to that follow the channel wanting me to play some Dota. And I'm kind of done with that game. Like, I'm sure I could pull in a few hundred viewers if I wanted to. But I just don't really want to. It was a really sweaty time in my life. And I was trying to just grind and try and get onto a team. And it never happened. And you know what? It wouldn't have been the right thing to do. So I wasn't healthy enough, you know, and I was a bit toxic back then as well. I'm going to be honest. So yeah, I think the plan for this stream is upgrade the stream, make it better, have my drawing tools, play some beta battles. And you know what? I'm a big fan of automation games, you know, these kind of factory type games. So maybe I might explore the factory building genre, you know. There's Satisfactory, I think. There's a new one that I saw Troopin playing yesterday that seems quite interesting. You basically build a 3D base, and then there is some wave defense you have to go through. So yeah, I'm just a big video game nerd, dude. Like, honestly, if you have any suggestions, I'll feel free to throw them out, because I mostly started streaming so that Cractorio. Factorio is the one though, if I'm being honest. I've played many other games like Dyson Sphere and I played a little bit of Satisfactory, but it just hits different, you know? So I am mostly a Factorio streamer, but you might see me during the day, during the week or during the weekends, when I got some free time away from these tournaments, you might see me playing another game. I'm not expecting people to be entertained by that though, right? It's, you know, if I play some Dead by Daylight or if I play some Dota, I'm not expecting loads of people to tune in, because it's not why. Oh, dude, they are billions. I saw Derek playing that a couple of days ago. It seems interesting. Derek McIntyre, who is a really, really strong speedrunner in Factorio, by the way, a multiple world record holder, as the world record changes hands. Yeah, no, dude, I tried There Are Billions, 100%. Yeah. It looks really cool. Like a proper old school RTS, and you can crank it right up. I mean, I've seen like 900% runs and stuff on YouTube. It's really cool. So maybe, yeah. Do you know what? I'm gonna write some of this stuff down, and I think that as I'm getting back into streaming, it might be worth. Oh damn! Oh, we have some blue bugs. Blue bugs are on the table, boys, and they are scarily close to things that we do not want to lose. This is nightmare mode. These blue bugs will not be bothered by bullets, and they are barely bothered by grenades. You need something a lot more egregiously aggressive to kill these guys, and there isn't just one, there are about 6. So these now are too fast. Sorry, I'll get to chat real quick. I just want to kind of wax lyrically a little bit about these guys. These blue bugs will now catch you. You can no longer kite them. As you can see, their multiple grenades do not do the trick, and 2 players, whilst trying to attack this wave alone, just went down. So another wave over here with some blue bugs in. It's getting spicy, guys. It's getting spicy. Factorio is hard and crazy because it's complicated recipes. That's true. Satisfactory is hardly complicated by the 3rd dimension. I had problems with Okay. So it's it's fun because it's 3D, but it's simple. It's not as complex. I like the complexity of Factorio. And Clyde, you've almost finished the final campaign map. 500, mate. I own There Is Billions. I think I played it for like an hour. What are we doing here? Siphoning. Oh, we're siphoning. Okay, yeah. Do you know what, mate? It's a good shout. I may have to... But do you know what, mate? One thing I would say is that if any of you guys tune in to any of these other games, I might not be very good at them. So I might need some, what I might put is backseating welcome. You know, you can put tags on stream. I might say like, please backseat me. Like if I'm messing up with like resource management or like building my units, help. Oh damn, Zero Sun, you love to see it. This is how you manage blue bugs before you have the infrastructure to do it manually or you know, passively through defenses. Zero Sun right now is gathering up multiple waves with his car. Any wave that he sees passing in his sector, in this area, he'll try and intercept them. So for instance, you have a wave here. Maybe this is a bit too far, but you try and intercept waves and you throw these poison capsules at the ground and they create like an area of AoE damage that you can run the bugs into multiple times. And you can stack these poison capsules on top of each other multiple times. So basically what he's trying to do here is gather up as many of these bugs as possible, have a big compact bunch of them, try not to crash into anything, which is really difficult, by the way. This is actually quite a difficult thing to pull off, like correctly over a long period of time. And as you can see now, the bugs slowly but surely inside this poisonous cloud tick away and burn away. And even these really strong blue bugs eventually crumble. For now, at 53%, this is the most efficient play that can be made to get rid of these blue guys. Now, I'm sure they dealt with the wave down here pretty effectively, but now you're on the clock a little bit. You need to build tons of those poison capsules. You need to have them handy on almost everybody. Yes, yeah, the blue gas only kills organic structures. It only kills real things like bugs. Cars don't take too much of a hit from it, but yeah, I think the cars is slightly overpowered. You know, we do see this meta quite often, and I'd love to see like an alteration. Maybe slow down cars, but make tanks more viable. So, you know, maybe reduce the speed of the vehicles a little bit, but make tanks slightly stronger. I don't know, like, what do you guys think would be an acceptable trade-off, you know? At the moment, cars, I think, in my mind, cars are a little too quick, and these medium and small bugs are basically free kills, so you can threat farm freely with a car early on. And the blue bugs as well are really handled, managed quite easily by a car. So potentially by slowing down said vehicle, or maybe speeding up the bugs. I don't know though. The problem is if you make big changes early on, you might ruin the early game, you know, when you don't have a car, for instance. So yeah, I think some tweaks need to happen. And if they do, I'll try and do like an update video. You know, we do buff and nerf stuff every now and again, so you'll see the meta change over the course of time. That was when threat farming was my jam. Like, I never used a car. It just wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth investing time to create the infrastructure to make engines. It was much more time efficient to kind of go defenders. If you guys remember that meta, defenders and poison capsules were like the meta, because you can take those defenders back to main base and give them to people on the back line back here. So if any wave breaks out, any of these builder nerds can just throw 5 or 6 robots around them. And obviously the defenders will scale off of your offensive tech. It will scale off of your shooting speed, and they will scale off of your upgrades. So stuff like your projectile damage and your shooting speed is all relative to your defenders too. But that has flipped. Maybe, I think the defenders become more expensive to build. Am I wrong? Where are they? Here they are. No, they're the same cost. Did everything else become cheaper? Am I wrong? I need to dig into the numbers. There's an efficiency reason why this is a thing, but I don't know, dude. I just think, I mean, look, you can gain so much space on them. Oh, I know how you do it. I know how you do it. You don't do anything to the car, and you don't do anything to the bugs. You make the fuel last quicker. You make the fuel burn up faster, I think. Welcome in, Sailor. Best of luck to the teams. Hope you're doing well. I am freezing, mate. I am absolutely frozen. But welcome in. Nice to have you with us, and thank you for the look. It's game 2 of the tournament that I'll be covering, and there'll be a third game later on today. So I'll try and save my voice for that. But yeah, for anybody out there that likes variety streaming, trucking, power wash simulating, you name it, Sailor Faye will do it all. So a big fan of the stream, and I try and raid, you know, every now and again other streamers that check in every now and again. So yeah, welcome in. Hopefully 2026 is going well. And yeah, talking about buffs and nerfs, I think you just make fuel burn faster, you know. So if for instance, you know, one stack of coal lasts like 5 minutes, make it last 2, make them refuel a bit quicker. Maybe, I don't know, that might be the play. We have poison capsule out here on the south as well. Again, the south are only dealing with 25% strength bugs. The north are 56. When it comes to signs being sent, it's one-way traffic, right? Yeah, almost 7,000 has been sent from south to north. And again, we can see that in the discrepancy between, you know, the percentage of evolution. However, this is on the clock and it will run out of roads. So, you know, effectively this doesn't last much more beyond the 1 hour mark. You know, putting any more time and effort. Ooh, ooh, that is frightening. I just need, that is absolutely devastating. Let's take a look at that mutagen. Yellow signs is the second strongest signs in the game. We haven't been playing for more than 1 hour of this game, and the North have produced 35 or 34 jugs of that, which is nothing really. Yeah, so they've managed to hit almost endgame. At the beginning of the game, like I thought this would go on for like 2.5 hours. So 34 jugs is nothing. However, what it means is that this is going to start up. So if they throw 300, we'll see a much larger increase. But for now, that's added 8% to their to the evolution of the South bugs, and it's pushed their number into a positive. Meaning now the South have to start dealing with some pressure. This is a really smart play. I know that they had to absorb a lot of pressure early on, but getting to yellow this fast and throwing almost straight away. Yeah, that's frightening, dude. I kind of want to kind of zoom in now on the southern threat farmers a little bit and just see how they manage this now, because the North have been dealing with pain for a while. I'm with you, dude. I thought it was kind of like the North were just slowly going to crumble, because these guys, you know, over time, the waves will become just blue. And, you know, and as they evolve from 50 to 60, 70, 80. But now, with small sends of 25 jugs, right? You know, and let's just put that into context really quickly. The South have sent 7,400 military science jugs, and that's gotten the North to 57% strength. Meanwhile, the South have only sent 132 with a little bit of, well, like 600 military science, and the South are now closing in on the same effort. So 7,500 to the North, 132 with another 600 military to the South, and we're almost at parity. Almost. It won't take much before these yellow jugs start to take the game over. And my throat is absolutely ripped to pieces. Guys, I'm going to go and get a drink real quick. I'm going to... Let's really quickly focus on some threat farming on the South. And we'll follow some... Because these guys are now dealing with positive threat, right? So now the bugs are coming into the map, and they will begin to fight the bases that are in front of them. All the bugs want is to kill off this rocket silo. And if they manage it, it's game. Now the North, I believe, have stabilized, and here we go. The threat farmers have managed to carve out nice open spaces they can drive their cars around into, and obviously kind of throw these poison capsules at. The South are... Oh, damn. The South are losing a little bit of their base already. And this isn't much. And these aren't even big guys. These are mediums. Mediums and smalls. Look at the devastation here that's been caused. 141 jugs go across from Jimmy, and now the evolution is basically the same, about 1% difference, there or thereabouts 1% difference. So by staying the course, holding the line, fighting through adversity, and fighting through the pressure that the South put onto the North, they've managed to overcome. And I would say now that their foot is firmly on the gas on the North. All they need to do is make as many of these as possible, and obviously feed their build, which takes time. And the South are about to feel a bit of pain. Oh, I love it. And the waves are going to be big. Do the South have any response to this? Do they have anything to say? Oh, I want to get a drink. I don't want to miss anything. Oh, I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to go for about 30 seconds, guys. Let's follow the Cobra. And I'm just very quickly going to get something to drink so that my voice stays with me. There's waves. Where's waves? Why? I don't want to miss this. Oh, this might be game. Do I even go now? Is it worth it? I think I just stay, right? This could be it. Because if they can't deal with this, then this is going to be even worse. If I had my tools up, I'd be able to draw you the symphony of destruction which is about to take place. However, this wave doesn't need to make it all the way to the end goal, right? But if they can make it a little bit in, and again, the silo is here, right? The wave of bugs is here. Again, these guys are good players. They'll know how to kite, but still, you know, they're anxiously close. Okay, I might have a break in play here. I don't see any imminent danger for the south. Okay, the north are plowing on. Zero Sun is plowing. Okay, right, yeah. Okay, I'm going to quickly follow the Cobra. Back in a sec, guys. Grabbing a drink. So let me just BRB. Okay, I am back. I've got a cup of tea. Has anything happened that has been slightly egregious? Let's take a look. Oh, damn. The Cobra is dealing with some serious waves right now. 75%. Oh, my God. Dude, what have these sends been like? And there it is. We have been eclipsed by a yellow send. 862 yellow jugs have gone over from the north to the south, leading us up to almost 80% evolution. Those bugs are going to be too much, I think. And here we go. Wave number 1. Well, I say wave number 1. The first that I'm picking up on. We have some bosses in here as well. Oh god. Okay, so for any of you guys new that are just tuning in, or that haven't seen this before, once the bugs get to a certain level, we start seeing boss bugs. That's denoted by their health bars above their heads. Every evolutionary stage from this point onwards, bosses will spawn to. So here, for instance, is a spitter boss. And here is a biter boss. Yeah, nerds secretly making yellow. I know. It's terrifying, honestly. And as you can see now, there are very few small bugs, very few mediums. We are closing in on seeing these blue shells taking over the map. And if we get to 90%, which I think we will see some behemoth bugs, the largest sized bugs. They get stronger and bigger, but behemoths is the final evolutionary stage. Let's take a quick look at what the south are doing, right? Because they can't just stop now. They have made some... They've made some yellow. They haven't sent any of it yet, though. That's interesting. Would a 500 send, would a 600 send do? And it would. Oh my god. This is actually kind of got a lot closer than it looks, or that it appears to be. My big question is, are we funding all of this? So yeah, okay, yeah, yellow is flying down the line. Let's take a look up north. Are they still able to fuel this, to fund this? Is yellow coming out that often, or have they just made as much as they've made? Okay. Okay, interesting. And we're not dealing with a ton of pressure up north. Oh, we have a separate yellow build. They've extended it. Damn, dude, that's kind of ruthless. That is absolutely ruthless. You need red chips, which they are probably missing in abundance right now, but... And that's what this was for. Oh my god. The game has changed. The game has changed. It used to be that you would make this stuff far away, and then you would bolt it on. Like, you'd make this out here and bolt it onto your base. Now we're just kind of like, yeah, literally welding part of our chip making onto the main base. Yeah, the south there, I wouldn't say cooked, but it's certainly, the tables have flipped a little bit here now. We see that the north are no longer under as much pressure as they once were. 81% for the south, with 10,000 bugs on the map, potentially at any given time, with 10,000 threat. The bugs are being dealt with, to be fair, but that 1,000 military science jug send there will do very little to the map now. You need those higher tier techs, you need those better level sciences in order to dent the number up and up and up to an aggressive level. And in the north here, preparing some defenses, we can see 117 laser turrets sat in the box. So the north are ready if they get attacked. Oh damn. One has made it through. Is this it? Is this the one bug to rule them all? Are we about to see? This guy's just taken over. Holy. There's no way he makes it all. We have to deal with it. There we go. Okay, we've got a couple of capsules going down. He is a boss though. He is pretty tanky too. That is a great question. I believe that bosses' respawn rate were nerfed up until the point where we have behemoths. I might be wrong about that, but we will check once we... I think that the respawn rate comes in when they turn to behemoths, or it might come in when they go above a certain percentage. So I think what was annoying was we used to have these medium-sized bugs, big bugs, sorry, and they had a respawn rate. Obviously with this, the health bar that matters the most is this top health bar, not the one underneath that keeps looking like it's refreshing. But we do have a revival chance for some of the larger bugs. I'm worried, dude. I'm not entirely sure how the South get out of this. I don't know where the counterplay is. We did say the North had an incredibly strong team going into the pick phase, and they have pulled off, through adversity. They haven't had an easy run of this at all. And as you can see, Banana's saying, we need no oil. So obviously, I don't know what resource oil is, but if we can find it, guys, we need it. According to Banana, obviously. Yeah, this is just a matter of time. 82% now. You can imagine that the North is just sending for a large save. Big bugs are rampaging towards main base. They're manageable for sure, right? 82%, it's not the end of the world. You can absolutely manage these, but with no physical defenses in the way, no walls around your base, you have to be able to catch these waves and cut them off. If you can do that, much like that's been done here with Ness and Coffee Owl, you can slowly but surely grasp some pressure back, right? Ooh. Okay, I don't think they worry too much about losing this military science build. Really? So this doesn't really matter. You can sacrifice this a little bit. I'm very interested to see how Space Age update to buy. Oh, dude, it's a thing. I believe Morgan. I might be getting that wrong, so I'll need to double check in Discord. But I believe Morgan created a Space Age playthrough. And I think it's been, I wouldn't say simplified as in dumbed down, but I think they kind of streamlined it so that you can still play a game within, you know, like a day. It's not actively pursued. Oh, man. That's a shame. It's a hell of a task, though, and I think it was only being done by one person. But what you tend to find, though, oh, this has been hammered. And there's some, oh my god, dude. These guys are going to earn their money. Sorry, I'll get back to the Space Age thing in a second, but these guys are earning their money here. That is so many bugs to be dragged. Remember, any bug that you drag behind you is another one that isn't coming down the map. You know, they're not here. I'd rather have them up here. Let's quickly check power. I see power. Yeah, it's not very balanced, and it was one person's effort. However, what we found with the Industrial Revolution stuff, because we had IR planned in and plugged in for bite battles, is that in a not too distant future, so in a couple of months or a few more months, we may revisit it. You might find that Morgan can find other people to help them in that project or with that project. Oh no, rip car, dude. Holy. Man down. Pancaked on the ground. Yeah, somebody might pick it back up again, but remember, guys, everybody that does, you know, the bite battle side of things and Space Age, it's all community-led, it's all volunteer-led, so I do, you know, I say this often, it's all done because we're passionate about the game and we love what Bite Battles is, so please don't think that there's people making billions of dollars or anything like that in the background. This is all run by just really big Factorio enthusiasts, and I give massive respect. Like, I'm lucky enough to just be able to tune in, turn it on, and it all works and it's all fun, but somebody's in the background been programming this, you know, paying for server, hosting, you know, updating it, upgrading it, and, you know, Neuro, as far as I'm aware, is the man, but there's many other people in the background helping him, and I just want to give a huge shout out to the people that maintain this, because I wouldn't be here talking to you, we wouldn't be watching such a great game if it wasn't for their help, their work in the background, keeping this and maintaining it. So yeah, we are lucky, very lucky, and privileged really, to be able to play something like this. And as I say that, it looks like Jimmy and Pavev have had enough. 90% bugs. We've seen the browns, we've seen the pinks and the blues as well. Have we seen the greens? The greens are about to arrive, guys. The behemoths are on the pitch. At 90%, the first of many evolve. These guys are beyond frightening. As you can see, he just ran through multiple puddles of poison. He took 1 square of health damage, if that. As he continues to run through the poison, he is still taking very little damage, and he will do so throughout. The only way that you manage these guys, these rampaging bulls, is you slow them down with your slow capsules, the yellow ones, which can obviously be built through assembly machines, and then on top of them, you stack poison capsules. For now, ooh, huge throw, massive throw from Carl. Guys, we are 1.2% difference in evolution on both north and south side. The north now have a larger threat number to deal with as well. This genuinely could go any way. This could go literally either way. I think this is now more down to, and I kind of expected this from a tournament game, like it was going to be close. I think this now is more dictated by who's got the upgrades. You know, who's got their lasers ready to go? Who's got their you know, their poison caps? Who's got anything other than your standard? Here we go. Zero Sun, building it up. Damn. Right. Because there's lots going to be going on. I'm gonna not yap. I'm just gonna zoom in around the map a little bit, drink my tea, hopefully get a little bit of my voice back, and we'll just follow the action. So apologies if it's a bit quiet for the next minute or two. I'm gonna have a couple of sips of tea, and we'll just follow this because this is super close. I haven't seen a game this close in terms of we're an hour and 15 minutes in. We've hit behemoths. Not only that, both sides are dealing with about the same evolution. This is quite rare. You don't see games like this that often. And it goes to show that the caliber of player, as well as the caliber of the teams, are both quite high. All 19 people on North and all 18 people on South have worked to a point where we're basically at the same game state, even though, as you can see, we've built two very different bases and we have played in two very different styles, but we've arrived at the same conclusion, and that's kind of cool. I really like that, so I'm going to stop talking for now. I'm going to zoom around the North and South, but mostly the North to begin with, because they've got, yeah, a couple of problems to deal with, and I'm going to have some tea, so yeah. If you guys see anything, by the way, feel free to point it out and I'll try and zoom in across to it. But here we have this crazy laser wall. It's not that strong though. We don't have those crazy laser upgrades just yet. But with enough of them being powered up, we can down a wave or two. And here we go. Let's see. Hey, Holloway, nice to have you with us, mate. So I'm just having a quick swig of tea to keep my voice underneath me. Happy New Year to you too, my friend. And thank you for the avatar stuff. Yeah, I decided to try and scan my arms and get my tattoos in and animate it, and I don't think it's perfect, but it'll do. And I think it's kind of in the way. I need to find a place to put me. Yeah, I think I might be slightly in the way in the bottom right hand side of the screen. But yeah, nice to have you with us, mate. VTuber, is that? Yeah, I think that's what it's called. VTube. But I'm not, God, the one thing I didn't want to make it is, number one, overly sexualized or anything like that. And two, I didn't want to make it unrealistic. So this is literally me trying to make as realistic a version of me possible without me actually needing to be on camera, if that makes sense. Let me check the revival. They may have turned it off. I don't see any, oh damn. That's grisly. Yeah, I don't see any revival states at the moment. Has the music stopped as well? Alright, we're going to change the music out real quick, because it feels like I've just stopped. Alright guys, a little bit of soul music. Let's soothe our soul. It's like the worst kind of music whilst destruction is happening. Did the South have anything to, I mean... No, the North are just... And they're trying to get a wall. Oh, dude, this is just rough. I like extreme Factorio playthroughs. I love seeing good defense. My nickname, and anybody that's watched the stream for multiple times will know that I am known in the community as the Minister of Defense. What has been tried and tested in defense on this game mode, I'm pretty much have been involved in either testing it, breaking it, or making it better. Which is why I have like a drawing tool on my screen. Oh, that's uncomfortable. Oh, that is uncomfortably... Guys, the silo is here. Oh, damn. Can they do anything to that? Because remember, everybody that comes to this is not dealing with another wave coming close, right? So yeah, I need to get my drawing tools back on, because there are so many cool wall designs. I will do it a disservice if I try and explain here on this stream. I might try and find a previous stream where I've explained this, but the philosophy behind how we funnel the bugs into different kind of defensive networks, as well as put them into patterns to break up their makeup of each bug wave. It's really cool, dude. There is a science behind it. You don't just put down like flat walls are good in a pinch, just a wall that just goes along, you know, one way. You can create designs that break up the bugs and then funnel them into kill zones. And those kill zones are power effective, so they're not burning through all of your electric power as you throw 1,000 lasers at them. Question for you guys, question for the viewer. The South have bugs, not many, but enough to be concerning. close to their silo, but they're not being hit by big waves. The north, however, are being hit by big waves. Who do we think survives longer here? If it was to stay like this, and you just have the same scenario, because the south have to be on the ball, right? If one makes it all the way in, like this guy here, right? If he decides to just come off of this, he could walk to the silo and kill this on his own. He doesn't just stay here and that's it. The crazy science one by multiple walls, circulated gates to destroy their pathway. Oh, I can show you some stuff. Mazes, wall design. Oh, dude, yeah, it's my jam. It's why I stayed playing the game mode. Defense is the most fun because it's different every time. And again, depending on the map that you have, depending on the topology and the geography of the map, really dictates how you defend. The south are in trouble. I think the north can hold out. They don't necessarily hold out comfortably. They are losing lasers, as you can see. Some are getting taken out. But yeah, dude, these guys are getting difficultly close to the silo. This is what you need to keep alive at all costs. And the bugs are... they're not far. They're not far away at all. And they keep making it deep. They keep getting in to, you know, this area here. So I'm worried that, you know, eventually there'll be a wave that slips in towards power and then that's it. This genuinely... I think whoever slip... Oh, Oops. I was going to say whoever drops the ball first, that is power that you need for these lasers. And that is one big ass wave. Are we about to see some power slamming? Are these power slamming enjoyers? Do you think they enjoy a little bit of electricity through their teeth? Because if it's not them, it's these guys. This is scary, dude. Has anybody spotted this? Yeah, okay, we've got a couple pings. You cannot, at this point, afford to lose power infrastructure. And the amount of bugs that are here now, I'll keep tabs on both waves. This is scary. They will tear through this fast. And if you lose power now, we'll start to see the electricity grid, if I can get my words out, really get punished from this. Bigger waves? Yeah, I love... Factorio is great as a game, but I love the dynamic aspect of having to manage the bugs, or make them nightmare mode. Talking about nightmare mode, though, these bugs have just ripped through North's power, and this genuinely could be game ending. This is very worrying for the North. That is a large, egregious amount of buildings being pancaked into the ground by these guys, as well as we're not killing the bugs. So they're just walking through this and just decimating this. And again, some of your base can still stay on, but if you're firing large power blocks of lasers like this, for instance, yeah, dangerous, as well as outposts being hit. Is this it? We did say the North looked stacked. Have the South managed to overcome? Sticklord's play, dude. I said it at the beginning of the game. Sticklord has ways of throwing the game into chaos. How are the South doing? Is there anything dangerous here going on? Okay, they've managed to get some bugs pretty close to the silo. How are the upgrades looking? They're not great. They are getting some damage upgrades in there. You know, research is still coming in pretty fast. I think this is just who holds out the longest, really, right? But this is just not what you want to see. This is really not what you want to see at all. And I feel like they're just collapsing. One wave, although you can turtle up. The final way of trying to win a game is to literally just silo defend for your life and try and wait for the other team to just lose too much. And that could be the way that is an old school way of playing this game, but that's how we used to play this. Is that when you get to this stage, everybody goes back to the silo. You put a load of walls around it with lasers and just pray. I mean, let's be honest, guys. Somebody could win the game, but nobody here is winning. You know, this is just a case of who loses slower. And that is basically it. Whoever loses the slowest now is the winner. And whoever loses fastest, unfortunately, will be the one going down. That's why Satisfactory is quite perfect. Didn't feel quite perfect. Quite limited raw resources, no real enemies. Yeah, that was frustrating. There are those pig things that headbutt you, but... yeah. Although, to be honest, I never got too deep into Satisfactory. I played it whilst, oh, we're in red power, guys. They can't even turn these lasers on. At this point, you have to disconnect things. You need to disconnect outposts. It's the only way that you do this, or you... Is that connected at all? Yeah, it has to be, right? But it's still not enough. No, hang on. No, it is. It is. It is. No, that's their power grid. The only useful power grid is here for the north. No. Look, guys, green power, red power. It's that simple. It's that simple. They have power. It's just not connected. Look, it's not connected. Oh, that's devastating. And the bugs are so close as well. They're still smashing into the power grid. The only thing the North have keeping them alive right now is this power block. And even if they are to plug it in, it's still vulnerable. It can still get taken out. But look, green power. Okay, somebody's sniping here. Never mind. It's still devastating. And here you go, bugs in amongst the labs on North. South have got some issues too. It's certainly not easy or comfortable for either of these two sides. Apologies if I missed anything in chat for now, guys. I want to make sure I don't miss the ending to this. So if any of you guys have questions near the end, I'll try and get to them after the fact. But I believe in the next couple of minutes, yeah, we are going to see the end of this, unfortunately. And again, there's enough here on the south to be uncomfortable about, right? That is enough to do the job. And the north, this is enough to do the job. That is more than enough. And they pile in, and they keep coming, and they're through our smelting lines. Do we have any power at all? It's jumping, it's yo-yoing. We can barely do enough damage to kill a few of these. If a big wave comes in, it's so over, dude. And the south? The same. The bugs are really close. How does it look running? They don't have defenses around their silo on south. The north actually turtled up correctly. They just slammed. Is this it? This is it. How close? Okay, the north have some space. No fucking way. No, 1%. There was 1% difference. That is mental. I haven't seen a game like that in a long time. Final evolution, 104 on north, 103 on the south. And the north, and I mean this, by the skin of their teeth, next to a decimated power block, surrounded by crazily slapped down walls, randomly, chaotically slapped down lasers, the north somehow survived. That was nuts. And it really was because there was an open corridor. I think the bugs just found a way down here, right? The north have lots of stuff stacked on top of each other. That is wild. What a game. That was so good, dude. And how long were we going for, right? Only an hour and a half. Not even an hour and a half. GG's everybody. Let's take a MVPs, Defender, Zero Sun Up North, Califabop, and Razgriz. Coffee Owl, Kojito, TM Marks. There's nobody played this badly. One team just somehow managed to lose slower than the other. We need a Gamba mode. Let me finish the prediction now. There is a second game, guys. I don't know if that's starting now, or if we wait till like in an hour. I think they really should start it sooner rather than later, after a small break, obviously. But let me resolve the prediction real quick. Yeah, what do you guys think? That was crazy good. Okay, Gamba, content, stream, manager. Predictions. Choose the outcome. I can't believe it, guys. I was just waiting for the north to like collapse. And then, boom, the south explode. Oh damn, Tech Priest. Tech Priest got banned? No. Oh yeah, dude, if you have a link, send it to me in Discord, mate. Twitch is a bit funny. You've only gone for like 60 seconds. Blitzy got 58, a mixture of oh damn, dude, that's a hell of a payout. Yeah, mate, if you've got a link, send it to me on Discord, and I'll be able to get to it. Twitch is a bit funny about links. I think I put it up there just because people can spam like, malicious bits and pieces. When next game